So in theory, she actually doesn't have to win this to go to the Olympic Games. She's already going in this event, but there's pride on the line. And again, she hasn't raced in over a year-long course either. So she wants to get a good race under her belt and rehearse for Tokyo. I just heard the drums. That means they're ready to introduce the athletes. We'll start with lane 9. You saw that list on the bottom of your screen. Aya Yanvier, 21-year-old from the Point Claire Swim Club that we were just talking about. There she is. She'll have lane number 9. She was in the final of the 100 back earlier this competition. Ella Jansen from Etobicoke Swim Club, another youngster, 15 years of age. From that club, will have lane number 8.
Swam a personal best in the heats.
And in lane number 7, Tessa Sapusha from Oakville, now training in Markham. Had a breakout year this year in the International Pro Swimming League, swimming for the Toronto Titans franchise. Mary Sophie Harvey, the 21-year-old from originally Trois Rivières, now training in CAMO, C-A-M-O. You can see it on her cap. That's the Centre Aquatic Montreal Olympique. It was a pool that was built for the Olympic Games. Kelsey Wog made the Olympic qualifying time in the preliminaries in this event. She's already made the time in the 100-meter breaststroke, so really has a berth for the Olympics, probably. Sydney Pickram, the woman we were talking about, 7 international medals already to her credit. One of the best individual medley swimmers, or as the swimmers say, IM, in the world. Bailey Anderson, a real late bloomer in the sport. Wasn't that well known as a teenager, but has really flourished at university. She'll have lane number 3. She wanted me to say she was from Smith Falls, Ontario. Ashley McMillan from Penticton, BC, will have lane number 2. Bailey Herbert from Langley, BC, will have lane number 1, the 18-year-old. And Nina Molan will have lane number 0. She actually is now living in the Chicago area. Her sister attends McGill, and Nina will be attending the University of Toronto in the near future.
So women's 200-meter IM, they'll start with the butterfly, then the backstroke, then the breaststroke, then come home with the freestyle. One length of the pool in each. And Sydney Pickram is the bronze medalist from the World Championships in this event. She was 6th in Rio 5 years ago. She will be in lane 4. So 5 up from the bottom of the pool.
And there's Kelsey Wog, good shot of her right next to her, out of Winnipeg, University of Manitoba graduate.
Take your marks.
And they start with the fly.
And you notice the good close-up there. About several years ago, decided that the swimmers were having both feet in the front of the blocks and they were slipping if they put one behind. So it's now like track and field. There's a little wedge on the back of the blocks, and it really does help the swimmers get a better start. So those are your 2 favorites right there, ringed by those yellow lane ropes. Lane number 4 is Pickram, and the next one on top of her, if you want to say it that way, is Kelsey Wog in lane 5.
So now they will switch to the backstroke. Sydney Pickram had the lead at 28.08.
And the interesting thing that happens in an individual medley is usually everybody has a bit of a weak stroke. Kelsey Wog is a world-class breaststroker, as is Sydney Pickram, so they both usually labor. Kelsey more in the breaststroke, in the backstroke, I should say. But look at all of a sudden, way down here in lane number 2, Ashley McMillan has a brilliant backstroke. Not a bad breaststroker either. Tina Hoban does a fantastic job in Penticton, bringing out new young swimmers every single time there's a national.
So Pickram just ahead of McMillan as they switch to the breaststroke. The most technical of the strokes, Byron.
Absolutely difficult. This makes or breaks an individual medley. The people that can do the breaststroke are usually the ones that enter the individual medley. Making a big, big move in lane number 3. That's 4 from the bottom. Bailey Anderson from Smith Falls, Ontario, has a good breaststroke. She had a great breakout swim at a meet in the United States about 6 weeks ago. So she's in a position now to challenge for that Olympic berth.
Bailey Anderson has a personal best of just under 2:10. 2:09.99, was a bronze medalist at the Pan Am Games in Lima. And now they go to the freestyle, and Sydney Pickram is leading. And just to her right, it is Kelsey Wog. And it is Anderson trying to keep up.
Very good battle for second. They're going to make the time, so it's whoever's better of those two that's going to make it. It looks like Kelsey Walk has pulled ahead, but the veteran Pickram has had this race in her back pocket the whole way.
Sydney Pickram approaches. Who's going to get second? It's Pickram for first. It's Wog for second. It's Anderson in third. Pickram's time 2:09.24. Wog is again under the Olympic ace standard the second time today. She knocks 2 more seconds off of it, and Pickram and Wog will most likely represent Canada in Tokyo. They are provisionally qualified.
Well, those two were in the top 8 at the World Championships as well, and that's in the 200-meter breaststroke. And interestingly, Canada decided only one person would get to pre-qualify. So Sydney Pickram pre-qualified. Kelsey Walk didn't, but there's that wedge. You can see I was talking about earlier where the swimmers get an extra little bit of a start. So Kelsey Walk really had to stand up and do it, and she did. She made it. I want to mention very briefly about Sydney as we watch her swim. And she grew up in the States. Her dad was a hockey player. She was born and raised in Dunedin, for you Blue Jay fans. That's their home park. And then went to school in Texas. But because of the pandemic, she had to move, and she drove up to Toronto at the end of December. She hit Canada with a snowstorm, and she'd never driven in snow in her life. Wow. And had to adjust very quickly to life here in Toronto. But it's done very well. She looks good, putting herself in a position to challenge for top spots once she gets to Tokyo. Getting this out of the way was very important.
Well, impressive by the top 4 swimmers. 3 of the top 4 under the Olympic A standard. In third place was Bailey Anderson, who had a nice charge down the stretch.